So to get started, I want to first frame in a very simple way what I want to talk about today. I'm going to put a timer. I want to be respectful of your time, even though most of you are at home right now, 99% of you. I just want to make sure that we're respectful of your time. Riley and I, as he said yesterday to me, I have not much to do. I can leave my house. So we'll be here for you to answer questions. But the framework, I want to do it within the first 25 minutes. All right. So Riley, let me share the screen right here with you guys. Share the entire screen. Share the entire screen right here. All right. And let's begin right here. I just want to make sure that I explained to you, and Riley, we talked about this yesterday. This is the time to become the leader in your industry, guys. And I'm sending a video to all of you in the industry that the playing field has never been more labeled. And Riley, I want your take on this. Some people say, you know what, I can't compete with Riley. Riley sends thousands of postcards a week. I can't compete with the top producers that are doing a lot of newspaper ads, magazine ads. They have a marketing machine and budget behind them. And that's true, right? Also, they have a much higher overhead than the small and middle real estate agents. Now, what I want to make sure is that you understand that now it's your time, guys. And the reason being is that every single agent, whether they're new, experienced, or top producers like Riley, we're all using the same tools. Got it? So it's now up to you to truly make a difference. It's up to you to become that leader in your community and truly make sure that you position yourself as an expert. Riley, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, I think you're right on point there, right? And we all now have the same way of communicating. We're all going to be doing things, in a new way and trying to reach people in a different way. I think it resonates with me because, my career really took off during the housing crisis of 2008. And I had that same philosophy. So in 2007 and 8, my sales were probably around 10, 11 million. 2009 was the hardest hit for everybody. I think it dipped down. But during that time, all of the big producers were pulling back on their marketing. They had overhead, like you said. So it was more challenging for them. And at that time, really, I had nothing to lose. So, my wife and I, we pretty much mortgaged everything and all in for 2 years of every kind of marketing we could do. We were doing the blogging, as you talked about. And really, that set the foundation for my career. Coming out of that crisis, within 2 years, we had passed all the top producers in our market. Went from literally 10 million in 2008 to 45 million in 2012.
Okay.
And that was all because of the effort I think that was put in. When everybody was retreating, we were going forward. And I think now is the time for all of your audience to really take advantage of an opportunity, even though it doesn't seem like this is an opportunity. Right. And it's a very different time.
Right.
But, other agents are not going to be willing to put the work in. As you and I talked yesterday, we're not on vacation, right? We're still working. And it's something that we really try to put into the minds of our team is that, while everybody else might think they're on vacation, the ones who are going to come out of this are the ones who are loading their pipeline, the ones who are building the trust with the clients before the clients are ready to get out there.
Exactly. So what you just said is so important. We are not on vacation, guys. And again, one more time, the level, the field has been leveled for all of you to make it. And Riley, we know each other for a long, long time, but it's interesting for me to hear from you and reiterate exactly what you just said. 2008 was an opportunity for you to position yourself as that expert.
Yeah, I had been chasing Joanne Foster, who was #1 in Coconut Grove for my whole lifetime, I think. Right. And during the crash, I noticed that she stopped mailing. She stopped going in the newspapers. Her staff was, she had a much larger staff, and it was just sort of me and my wife. And so we kind of went into this guerrilla war of marketing on our own. And we had different tools at the time, right? We weren't doing what we're doing now, but we were able to do a lot of things, just with manpower and time and energy. It didn't cost a lot. That really slowly but surely turned the Coconut Grove community into my favor. And really what we did, and I think what your people listening here need to take away from it is, this is the time for you to build trust in your community, right? People that's who they're going to work with. So whether it's your family, your friends, your sphere, your neighborhood, online leads, we have time now to build that trust with them. And that's really going to be the most important thing. And how do you do it? By showing them that you're here, that you're working, that you have knowledge, and you're willing to give, your energy, your time to them.
Right. And listen, and another top agent from your own firm, Nancy Batchelor, has a saying, right? You can't disappear when things are bad and then reappear when things are good.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, I just want to make sure that you follow Riley in social media, you follow Riley in YouTube, and not only look at the quality of the production he has, but more important, the frequency and consistency of Riley and his team at this specific moment. So he's not only preaching it, he's actually doing it. So one of the top agents across the nation, number one in Miami in terms of transactions. It's more active than ever. And Riley, how much is that costing?
Really, what we're doing now is not costing anything.
Exactly.
We still will be doing our mailings. We haven't done them, as frequently right now because we're trying to really learn this new way of marketing. But really, anybody can sit down with an iPhone and shoot a video. We just shot one the other day that you and I were talking about, and we're going to try to put, myself 2 or 3 out a week at least. And our team, I hope, is also, working on that as well.
All right, perfect. Let's see if we have any questions. If not, I'm gonna go back to, let's see, questions right now. Okay, Damien, how did you start it and turn it around? Riley, what did you do at that moment? What were your concrete actions for 2008 in specific?
2008. It was a very different time, right? We weren't online as much as we are right now, but it was becoming part of our world. So in 2008, in 2009, the 3 things I think we did the most was, one, we were very fortunate to be one of the first people to discover blogging. We've talked about that. And so we blogged almost every day about what was happening in our market, Coconut Grove. We started to become the go-to source for information and news, which didn't cost anything because I was totally broke at that time. So we were doing everything we could to put the word out in ways that didn't cost a lot of money. We also literally, instead of mailing our newsletters, we would go door to door and put them in the mailboxes in the middle of the night, right? Because we didn't want anybody to see us doing it. So so and then it was just literally talking to people. Talking to people doesn't cost anything. Now we have the best platform in the world, which is our email platform, which I know you'll talk about later, right? But the things that we can do now, it's pretty much the same things I was doing then. It's just we're doing them on the phone.
And it's just easier now.
It's easier now. You push a button, and you go to so many more people.
That's it. There's no excuses now. Now, offline media, if I wanted to compete with you and your position, you're not only, somebody said here, you're number one in Coconut Grove, not actually in Coconut Grove only, but in Miami in terms of number of transactions. And you can verify that through the MLS, and it's very simple to do that. So basically, it's just much easier right now. It's just about putting the effort, becoming that expert. By the way, Riley, you became that expert. You did over 1,200 blog posts.
Over a period of years. That's a lot of stuff. But you know what that makes you, every time you write one, you learn something new about what the topic is, right? So you become more knowledgeable. Knowledge is confidence. When you become more confident, that's when people start to see and trust you.
Exactly. So somebody asked right here, Riley, what's your social media link? And Michelle already put it in there. It's Riley Smith Group. Follow him. Look at how the frequency, the consistency he has. How much value he's bringing to his community, and literally, like Riley said, it's not about money, right?
No, and there's endless things to talk about, and with social media now, and with your email systems and everything else, right. I had to at first reach a very small audience, which was just in Coconut Grove, so we were doing more physical things, right? Getting out, knocking on doors, walking around, talking to people. Now with all the tools we have, you can reach all Miami, all Dade County in a push of a button.
Exactly.
Why you've seen the explosion in number of sales that we have across the county and everything else. We just took what we learned in Coconut Grove and started expanding it all over the city, and also helping our agents get out there and do that.
Exactly. So that's the first part that I wanted to cover, to show you guys that anybody can do it. Of course, don't expect results like Riley has overnight. All right, but it's feasible for everybody. And something that I said about top producers is that if you're not a top producer yet, you don't need to compare. You don't need 300 transactions like Riley done. If you do 24, 30 transactions, for most of you, that'll be an amazing year, and you don't have that overhead. All right, so it's definitely possible. So what to do right now? And Riley, I want your input on this one. So I'm going to talk about these 5 things real quick.
Yeah.
To show the audience exactly what they can be doing right now. Number one, virtual presentations. And I think this is going to open up, Riley, and I want your take on that, to a new way of communicating with our clients, and not only communicating, but engaging at a much deeper level. Now, one of my suggestions coming from this is, listen, if you're going to have a weekly conversation with your client about the update, the market update, why don't you do a Zoom presentation, right? Face to face, and you can show them the statistics, and it's a much better way to engage, right? That's number one. Number two, webinars for buyers and sellers. What's stopping you? And I know many of the agents that we coach, Riley, they're already doing webinars, right? For buyers and for sellers. So what's stopping each and every one of you from doing webinars? That's so inexpensive. It's less than $60 per month. Not only that, but you can also record in a different platform those webinars, and those webinars are working for you 24/7. And that's what we do here in our company, right? We have the listing agent webinar, the how to increase your income webinar, the how to handling objection webinars. And Riley, those webinars are already recorded. So we don't even have to do the webinar. And every day we see the numbers that are coming from Google, from the advertising company, from YouTube, from Instagram, from email. And then we reach out to those people. What's preventing each and every one of you from doing this? It's just a setup. And again, it's not expensive at all. Now, in your webinars, bring speakers, restaurant owners, cafe owners, right? The laundry company in your area. Use their database, right? And let them use your database to engage with your community. Become that expert of choice. And finally, YouTube. There is no reason why each and every one of you in this line today should not have a YouTube channel and engage through it. And I'm going to talk about the 5 things, but I want Riley's take on those 5 things, Riley, about virtual presentation, webinars, bringing speakers, sharing database with other business owners in their community. And then I'll talk about 5 things about YouTube. What do you say, Riley, about those things right here?
I mean, for me, I think it's fantastic that we have these new tools, right? But I know the agents that are on my team and the agents that I speak to, and you probably know the agents that you coach, right? But what is the biggest objection that an agent has to prospecting or lead generation, right? Their objection is, I'm too busy with clients or my deals or this, or I have an inspection or open house. Well, we don't have anything now, right? Now there's no time for objection. Right. We have all the time we need to do these things. The second objection is, I'm afraid to put myself out there. I don't know how to do it. It's not going to look right. And what I would say is just go, right? It's ready, fire, aim, right? You'll get it right eventually, but the faster you start, the faster you're going to get better at it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get ahead of the curve. You know, most of the agents in Miami are not going to be doing these things.
Right.
Just promise you that, right? And we know that.
And that's a beautiful thing for the people that want to take advantage of this situation. As you said, Riley, most agents are just going to listen, right? They're just going to listen and say, it's good information. Let me go to another webinar that I have at 1, and then another one I have at 6, and then tomorrow I'll go to another one. And just become webinar or seminar junkies, right?
Right. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there. We're in the people business, and this is a great time to meet so many more people and give value to them, right? As long as you're giving value, then you should come across with confidence when you talk to them. And how you look, people don't worry about that. They don't even think about that, right? They care about what you're saying and what the added value you're giving to them. And that's it. You know, the platform doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about perfection. Just worry about getting it out there. And just like you said with our social media, you know, the more often, the better.
Listen, for those of you that are proud of yourself by being a perfectionist, I go 100% against it. And Kelly, Riley's wife, and you remember that, that one? Right? So when I first worked with Riley a long time ago, Kelly said, yeah, I can't stand out Orlando. He has so many grammatical mistakes in his website. And I agree with that. And she had a point, a very valid point. I don't know if Kelly's right there.
Oh, she's laughing over there.
And it's true. But I rather have those mistakes and be out there than try to be perfect and not be out there. Because some people, all right, and many people will notice those mistakes, but many won't. And at the end of the day, like Riley said, it's all about the content. Let me show you something real quick, Riley, and everybody in the line. Look, this is my YouTube channel that for me has been the number one, more than Facebook, Instagram, etc. Of course, it's in Spanish, guys. But look, there are videos right here that has been seen almost 500,000 times in my office. There are some videos that are professionally edited. This is in a professional studio with Miss Universe. This is in Univision, and it doesn't have even the 10th of views. Look at this ones with Miss Universe in Univision, and they have way fewer than the ones that are in my office. Why am I showing you this? Because at the end of the day, guys, as Riley said, it's all about the content. Your buyers and sellers are not thinking about you as a producer or as a director or as an artist. They're thinking about you as a professional real estate agent, right, Riley?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more you do it, the better you get at it, right? I mean, that you've gotten so much better at these things, and that's the challenge that we all have. As soon as you put a camera in front of our faces, we all get nervous. I get nervous. I mean, everybody on our team gets nervous. We see it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And once you reach that comfort level, you really realize that these are tools now that, God, I wish I had back then, right? I mean, it's so much easier to reach people. And the beauty of this time right now, like we said, is that most people aren't going to do this. And I think the way we do business is going to change forever at the end of this next month or two. And the people that are willing to engage and learn and understand how this all works, this real estate community is so slow to adapt.
Right.
So you're quickly going to jump over thousands of people.
Right.
You already have an understanding of a new way of doing business.
Right. And don't be ashamed of your quality right now. I leave my YouTube channel. You can go Orlando Montiel on YouTube, and you'll see that I leave the ones from the beginning, Riley. So I can see the difference, how bad I was. And I hope that 10 years from now, you and I look at each other and say, wow, Riley, look, 10 years ago, we were so bad, right? That's it. It's progress.
Yeah.
Got it? But and something that I say when they're talking to me about doing videos is, this is a beautiful thing about video. First, understand the following. Before you are good, you're going to be really bad at it. And look at me. When I was with Telemundo, they took me out of air in front of the camera, and they did the interview format because I couldn't express myself.
Right. Sure.
Right? So the beautiful thing about YouTube is the cheapest way to advertise, less than 5 cents per view. You need to get on YouTube. Not only that, but it's the lowest, it's the least heavy data that you have to convert into other mediums. You can convert it into Facebook, you can put it on Instagram, and the quality is still very, very, very high. Remember, once you click on a video on YouTube, next time that user, that follower of yours comes to YouTube, what is he going to see, Riley? Again,
you're going to see your next one.
Your videos. Yeah. Now, the most important thing about doing these videos with Riley, you're doing an amazing job. And Riley has taken it to a completely different level, way better than mine. I mean, he's has a professional production. Now he has the team behind it. But you don't need that right now. You just need to get started, okay? So the most beautiful thing, Riley, and I think you would agree with me, is that not only changes the perception of your audience, but it changes you, the way you communicate. The more videos you do, Riley, the better you can express yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I made my career in Coconut Grove on doing mailings, basically, really, mailings and signs. Yeah. And imagine the people don't get to know you from a mailing and from a sign. When they watch your video, they know you, they understand you, they hear you. Now they also see you walking down the street, right? So now you're no longer this person, this name that arrives at my door in the newspaper, or right? You're real. Exactly. That's what the connection that is really, we're going to start to see. People like to feel a sense of connection of who is this person. Exactly. So now they also, and that's part of your story, right? You're not just giving information, you're giving your story, and your story is going to relate to somebody, to a lot of people.
Exactly. I have a question here. Jude said, what kind of content? And Anna also said, what kind of content should I share? There is so much uncertainty that even us, the experts, are a little bit confused, trying to understand what's going on with the market and the whole coronavirus situation. Can you share that, Riley?
Yeah, I mean, what we've done so far, and we've done, I don't know, since we started, maybe 4 or 5 updates, I think. You can be as small as your little neighborhood and what's happening there, or you can use the data from the MLS. It's still there, as broad as what's happening across the market. The thing you have to be is real, and you have to be honest, and you have to tell the truth, good, bad, or ugly, I think. And people respect that. We've got a lot of good feedback about it. Obviously, you have to be sensitive to the time that we're in and how you deliver the message. Wow. But there is still real estate transactions happening, and just by putting that out there, we have seen that people find comfort in that. Like, people, they want to know when the other side of this comes that, we're still going to have a real estate market and what it's going to look like. Obviously, as we go on, more trends are going to develop. But, we've talked about, obviously, properties, whether or not you should be listing your property right now. And you and I will get into that later, I know.
Yep, we're going to do that.
we've talked about, obviously other properties are coming off the market where you're seeing temporary offs, and, probably going to start seeing price reductions. So there is a million stories to tell, and it's all in your MLS. It's just a matter of doing the data searches. That way you're giving real information.
Yeah, right? we're gonna go very deep on what content means. I have two quick questions, Riley, and I think those are for me because they're technical. They ask what type of platform for webinars I personally use Webinar Jam and EverWebinar. Webinar Jam and EverWebinar. We're gonna start doing Zoom. We're gonna give it a try for a couple of months to see how it works. I think Riley, you're gonna use Zoom too. So those three. Lourdes asks, what camera do you use? So Riley, what camera do you use? Because you are way more professional than me.
I mean, right now we're just using an iPhone, straight, to be honest with you. And for our social media and all that, in the past we've had, a film crew that has helped us do some of our stuff. We're all trying to practice social distancing, so we pulled back on that right now.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be that. It can be just your iPhone. The agents on my team have gotten tremendous responses from just pulling out their phone and giving a 30-minute thing about, like that slideshow said earlier, talking about your neighborhood, talking about other local businesses. So, but in terms of the camera, we're just using an iPhone right now. Some of our previous videos, we've had professional camera people, and we'll probably get back into that once we come out of the other side. But right now, it's all about how much content can you put out, how fast.
That's the point. And listen, I use my own iPhone, which is, by the way, the old one. It's not even the new one. It's the old iPhone right here, right? So, of course, some of you have seen us. We have the professional HD 4K cameras. Would you see them when we interview Riley for the Miami Real Estate Show, when we are doing something very special, a message? We have a studio with the lights, but you don't need any of that. 99% of our videos are shoot on an iPhone. That's simple because it's speed. Speed is much better than perfection.
Yeah, and I think right now people understand it. They get it. You're supposed to be home, right? So you and sitting there having a little chat with them in your backyard with your iPhone, it's real. Right,
it's real. And as I said, as I show you, have some videos that have been seen more than 450,000 times in my office compared to professional videos, right? Riley, another question right here from Dennis. She says, Riley, do you ever use humor in your videos, or are you always delivering info with more of a serious mood?
I'd like to use humor. Usually I like to make fun of myself. Right? I'm sometimes can be quite a character, but I think humor is, in this time you have to be careful, right? But that's what people are looking for. I think the reason we're seeing such a response now is we're looking for stuff to do. We're looking for things to take us away from the environment that we're in for a few minutes. And so I think, yes, mixing in humor, as long as it's tastefully done, I think is a good idea. And, if that's who you are, right? Don't mix in humor if that's not who you are, because it's going to come off really bad.
Listen, very important. It is who you are. And I don't think this question is more appropriate to ask than to you. I'm going to explain to you why. And I think I know where I'm coming from. So for example, I love humor, and in my office I'm always joking, but I come across as an extremely serious person. I haven't been able to use humor in the camera. I would love to do so because I'm always joking, and to me that's the most important thing. Make me laugh, you got me, right? But it has to be like Riley said. Who are you? Look at Riley. Riley looks very, very well dressed today. Look at his Instagram feed. And by the way, Riley, I have never heard any bad comment. All of them are like, man, that's awesome. I would love to dress like that. That's security. That's power. Yeah. That's Riley. Most agents are very, very formal. Riley's always in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops, right? And it works very well for him. That's him. Right. Who you are, right?
And once I really own that and put it out there, when I first tried it, it didn't go so well in a couple of appointments, but it's being comfortable in your own skin, especially when you're in front of the camera, is really, it comes out if you're not. And so the more you can have the confidence in this is who I am, and just if that's how you talk and you joke and you laugh and you make fun of teams, that will come across totally fine. Right.
Exactly. All right. So let's go. Thank you guys for the comments. Dennis, that's great. I think humor helps a lot. Definitely helps. Let me go into the other slides that I wanted to share with you guys, and I want Riley also to make comments from it. So right here, what to do? We talk about that. Bring in speakers, guys. Get get into the habit of doing a webinar every 3 weeks. Riley, you do a seminar every quarter in Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
Not only do you do a seminar, but I had agents that are working with buyers that specialize in Coconut Grove, and they want to go to your seminars, right? Yep. So, and you do that. Can you speak a little bit more about the seminars you do and how you become that expert?
Yeah, in Coconut Grove, we do sort of a Coconut Grove market update kind of thing. We're usually doing them at Green Street Cafe. About 100 or so people show up.
Right.
Every time we do one, we end up with a couple of buyers, a couple of sellers, and then we've been doing them for so long that so many people, once I get in their house, they say, "Oh, I first met you when I came to see you talk at Green Street." So, there's something powerful to your audience that when you have the confidence to stand up and talk in front of them, right? And it also makes you learn your business. You know your market. You can't get up there and then have them ask questions you don't know the answers to. So what we did in those now is going to translate more and more into these online ones that you're talking about. And we're trying to put together our own, and I think in the next few weeks, we'll start rolling them out. Home buyer sessions, seminars, seller seminars, whatever kind of seminars, and start being the voice out there, right? That's all that you want to do is be the voice,
And as you said, most people, and I'm writing this down because one of the best takeaways that I'm taking right here is that most people, won't do it. Right?
Won't do it.
That's the beautiful thing about it. Okay, so
it's scary and it's a lot of work, but most people won't do it.
Right. So let's talk real quick about content. I want to first make sure that we understand the difference between context and content. And Riley touched on that briefly, like a minute ago. It's very important, to make sure that we are not pitching, right? This is the right time to sell. This is the right time to buy. I'm the #1 agent. I want to be your agent. Make sure that your content, all right, has the right context, especially in this moment, right, Riley?
Absolutely. I think, and you have to lead with the content. That's what nobody cares that you're #1. Nobody cares that you're, like you always say in your seminars, everybody's #1 in something, right?
Exactly.
So it's more the content has to resonate. It has to be on point. It has to be what they're looking for, and then the delivery of it. And I think I'm looking at one of the vision boards that we have in our room here. Is no matter what level of success you have, when you're out there putting your message out there, just stay humble, right? I mean, I started just like your brand new agents that you're coaching today. I'm no different than them in any way whatsoever. I've just been doing this longer, right? Stay humble when you're putting your message out there. I think that's a very, very important part of however you market yourself, regardless.
And that what Riley's saying is many of us are many of you are in our coaching program, and we Riley, we talk about this in our coaching program, which is you got to go from that the message is what fuels the marketing, right? If you don't have a message, then the marketing is not going to work. But the message has to be centered on your client. So we got to go from the client agent-centric approach, which is all about me, and the #1. I've never met a number 56 in my life. Everybody's #1, right? Do everything. So you got to go from the agent-centric approach to the client-centric approach. And that's what you've done, Riley, for many years so well. It's just delivering value.
Yeah, I think, especially, for me, it all started in Coconut Grove, which is a small community, maybe 3,000 single family homes and a couple thousand townhouses and condos. So, for me, I always thought, what would they want to hear? Right? Mm-hmm. Start with that question,
right.
And so if you live in a townhouse, what do you want to know? Do you want to know how long are they going to stay on the market right now? Are they going up in value, down in value, price per square foot? Should I paint them, red or purple? I mean, think about what your audience wants to hear before you sit down to give your presentation. Don't just present what you think.
Exactly. So talking about content, which is the slide that we show, it's many of you have asked, like, what type of content should we post out there right now? So I think that every week you should do a market update, and I'm going to give you 6 things that you need to know. There are many more things, but these are the basic 6 things, right? You need to know how many properties are for sale. 1, 2, 3, 4 bedroom units in your community. Number 2, the average price of those 1, 2, 3, 4 bedroom units. Number 3 is the average price per square foot. Number 4, what's the highest for sale right now? What's the lowest for sale? No, number 5, and then days on the market. And I think you should actually, and Nivaldo Soria, which He's one of the top agents in Miami, and he admires you, and you know that he admires you a lot. He follows you a lot. He says, he did last week, he did over 18 videos, and he keeps doing videos and videos and videos, and he's become so good at it, right? And at the beginning, he wasn't good, and he knows it like everybody else. Like you said, all of us start from zero, right? So you need a weekly update and relay that weekly update to what's happening right now. Listen, because of the situation, these are the number of properties for sale. This is the average price. This is the average price per square foot, highest, lowest for sale, and days on the market.
Yeah.
Right? Any other content in terms of statistics?
The thing I think you need to get across to the people listening is you can't be all things to everybody. The market, Miami is too broad. It's too big. So this is the time right now for you to identify your niche. You already have your friends, your family, and your sphere. That's fine. But this is the time to start becoming a listing agent right now. And you can't be a listing agent all over Miami to start, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to start on your block, in your building, in your neighborhood, and then expand from there. So when you're doing your content now, I think make sure you know who your target audience is. You're not, once in a while we put in all of Miami statistics, but usually I'm talking about Coconut Grove, Coral Gables, Pine Creek, the neighborhoods where we want to farm. And I think don't worry about being so specific, right? That's very important because, I can't talk about what's happening in Hialeah one day and then Homestead the next. I don't know that market, but the market where I do know and where I'm targeting, that's where I'm putting it out there. Even though the whole world can see it, I'm not worried about those people looking at it. I'm worried about the people in my neighborhood or in my block or now in my community that I'm trying to reach.
Riley, and that's what we say. Remember, we say that in coaching, which is who makes more money, the general doctor or the specialist? Of course, the specialist, right? That's what Riley's talking about. Now, Riley has taken it at a much higher notch, which is who makes more money. That specialist that only does one thing, which is exactly what Riley's talking about, or Dr. Ross from TV. So what doctor makes more money, right? The general doctor or the specialist? The specialist. But who makes more money? The specialist, the doctor, Dr. Ross. Dr. Ross because he's a celebrity. And Riley, that's what you become in your little area, Coconut Grove, right?
And then you just start there and you just keep expanding out. I mean,
exactly.
It's kind of, the ink dot approach, basically.
Exactly. So Shailesh says, I'm very shy on camera and I have an accent. I don't think anybody has a bigger accent than me. Look at Nivaldo Soria. Go to South Florida Investments. Nivaldo Soria, recognized by the association as one of the top agents. Millennials, new millennials coming in, 40 under 40. His accent is as bad as mine. And his videos were, not anymore, but were as bad as mine. And by the way, in Miami, I might understand if you're in Alabama or in Tennessee, but in Miami, everybody has an accent.
Yeah, and if you're not comfortable in English, then do it in Spanish. I mean, there are a lot more Spanish people listening right now than there are English people, I promise you, right? So, I don't speak Spanish. If I did, I would be doing it in both.
Right.
So I think I've seen that with some people on our team who's tried it in English and it wasn't their first language. They were not comfortable. And as soon as we really got them into talking Spanish, it's just a whole new person comes out.
Exactly.
So, if you're struggling with worrying about your accent, then go to your native language and you're going to be fine.
Be an amazing tip right here. Susan asked you, Riley, any morning routine?
I'm not, I know a lot of people are, and you can listen to Tom Ferry and he has his meds and he does his meditations. And I'm not really a routine guy. I believe in getting up and getting in the office. My only routine is my whole life. I've pretty much eaten breakfast at the same restaurant, Green Street in Coconut Grove, because I do believe in being consistent in everything that you do in that sense.
Which you learned from one of your mentors, right?
What's that?
Which you learned from one of your mentors?
Yeah. And so I go, I have breakfast first in the morning after, kids are gone, and then I get to the office. I believe you go to the office every day. I'm still believing that. Now, this may change, and our world may change in the next 2 months. We'll see how it goes. Right. But I still believe that, I'm more productive when I get in the office. So, and then now with my team, it's, also not just the real estate side of it, but the leadership side, right? Being around the team and seeing them, helping them all out. So really my morning routine is just get some, eat in the same place, say hi to the same people, make sure they all know who I am. I mean, I get so much business just from sitting there, and then, walk down the street 2 blocks, get in the office and see where the day takes us.
Yeah. what we teach our agents right here is something that is a real estate calendar. And I'm going to give this to all of you for free, guys. If you want it, I'm going to post a link where you can download it. If you want the printed version, we can also mail it to you, which of course that's a cost, but I'm going to give you the one for free. It's a real estate calendar. It's designed specifically for real estate agents. Every 30 days, they put their goals right here. And every 30 minutes, they know exactly what to do. Because we say three things is that the day starts the night before, guys. And you need to know exactly what you're doing today, but you can get organized during the day. This is 4-2 right here, 4-2. As you can see, there's Riley right here in the webinar. Because if not, things will get on the way. You need to understand your priorities. And Riley, that's what we put in here, right? What are the 3 priorities for today? And let's make sure we put it in the calendar. Because the second thing we say, if it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
The day starts the night before. You need to organize your day the night before, put them in the calendar. And number 3, understand for most people that once you leave your home, the day is no longer yours. So in my case, Riley says, listen, I get up and I go to lunch, breakfast in this place every single day. In my case, I like to work between 45 to an hour and a half in my house about developing my business. But everybody has a different agenda. What you do recommend for everybody is to start the night before, start the day the night before, and put everything in your calendar.
Yeah.
All right.
And put in, the hardest thing to put in is time blocking for prospecting.
I
mean, I've heard every excuse from my agents that you could ever imagine, right?
Exactly.
So if you're not putting in when you're going to do it, how long you're going to do it for, how many people you're going to talk to, or email or text or write letters, it's not going to get done. And
exactly. And right here,
from the number one thing on your calendar.
Put it on the calendar. Exactly. Put them on the calendar. So another question right here, Riley, how do you manage your time other than morning routine?
I mean, I have, just like everybody else, I'm sure 95% of people listening probably have a Gmail calendar, right? And that we use that to manage our time. I am now gotten to understand that protecting your time is critical. And that's part of becoming a listing agent and getting away from a buyer's agent and really understanding you can say no. And the more important thing is learning to protect your time and then being productive with the time that you protect. Right. For me, I have a series of that, whether it's, I'm going to be meeting with agents. I also protect my personal time. I love to pick up my girls from school. That's a time where it's just my time, so learning how to manage the calendar is just as important as having a calendar. And not saying yes to everything. A bunch of our agents, I think we really struggle with that. And we try to work with them that you don't have to say yes to everybody. And you can, make sure that you block out time to do the things that are important.
Yep. So basically, here it is. And if you don't want to use this one, but use something similar, what are your 3 priorities for today? And one of them is definitely always talking to new people, right? Remember the 5-5-5 rule, right? Speak to 5 people 5 days a week for 50 weeks. That's going to bring you at least 12 transactions a year. Those are statistics that have been around for many, many, many years. And you know that, right? So basically, in terms of time management, when we talk to agencies, 4 things, right? Think about what you can first and foremost eliminate. If you can't eliminate it, ask yourself, can I automate it? If I can automate it, can I delegate it? And if I can eliminate it, automate it, or delegate it, usually I have to do it on my own, which is only talking to new clients. Yeah. And doing the marketing.
Yeah, and the faster you can get to the point where you can delegate things, the faster your business is going to grow. Everyone listening, their number one goal for growing their business should be, how fast can I get an assistant? How fast?
Let's stop right here.
Number one.
Please rewind and absorb what Riley just said, right? Number one priority is asking your question, asking yourself the question, how fast can I get an assistant? And let me give you a tip. You don't need a full-time assistant or a team like Riley. Just start with a virtual part-time assistant.
Yeah, or share one with another agent,
which is very inexpensive.
Very inexpensive. And your time, if you really look at the end of the year, how much time you spend and what you make, your time is going to be way more valuable than what you're going to pay that person. You just have to have the confidence to take that step. It is a financial burden, but it frees you up so much, right? Because so many other objections to doing things. My agent say, "Oh, I have so much paperwork." Right. But you shouldn't be doing paperwork. Right? We're not in the paperwork business. You should not be, and you shouldn't be making your own appointments. And you shouldn't be. There's so many little things that if you take off your plate, I always say, there's 2 major moments when you're building your career in real estate. I think the first one is when you get to the place where you can delegate the things that you're not very good at and that take a lot of your time, right? And then the second one is when you delegate things you don't want to do anymore, right?
Yep.
Now you're left with just what you're good at and what you like.
Yep.
And when you get to that point, that's when your career takes off.
Yep. Very important, Riley. And you take Fridays off. Talking about the highest producing agent in Miami with the largest association of realtors in the country. That's you, and you take Fridays off.
Yes.
All right.
That's my time to relax. So, get on the boat, get out on the water, and do what I love to do. So, but that didn't happen overnight, and it took a very long time to get there. And it takes a great system, and I'm very blessed to have an amazing team around me. But that's also because I was willing to delegate and to let go. Most people are so afraid to let go of their clients, and I believe in if you have the right people around you, you'll be fine with letting go of things.
Yep. Another question here, Elizabeth. I think do you use a teleprompter when you're speaking? Forget what I need to say sometimes. I don't use one. Do you use one, Riley?
I tried, and all I do is stare at it. It looks terrible. Honestly, I think, and it comes across scripted for the most part. Right. Some of our agents have been able to do it okay. I think for me, one, keep them short so you don't have to memorize too much. Memorize the main points you want to get across, because if you record yourself talking about one topic 10 times, you're going to say it 10 different ways.
Right. So
just have your bullet points and then be you in between in the transition. Keep it short enough. I usually try to maybe hit 4 topics in a minute,
right?
Half at the most. I've tried to be scripted, and I'm terrible at it. And the people that were working with me, they want to kill me because, it's just every time I sit down, the next take is totally different than the first take.
Exactly. So this is what I was trained in Telemundo and then in Univision. I've been doing TV for 14 years. So it's a 4-step process, right? First, make sure that you don't hit more than 3 points, because your audience is going to forget after the third. So first, you tell them what you're going to tell them, right? Second, you tell them. Third, you summarize what you told them. And fourth, if you're in YouTube, ask them to subscribe and let them know what's coming next.
Yeah, have a call to action at the end. Yeah.
Right, and the call to action at the end. So one more time for those of you that want to start doing videos. Number one, no more than 3 points. Then you start with this. You tell them what you're going to tell them. You tell them, you summarize what you said, and finally, the call to action. Subscribe and let them know what you're going to talk about next. That's it. That's the formula. That's the one that I've used in Telemundo and Univision for many, many, many years. I didn't create it. It was given to me by them. They are in the business of creating relevant video content. All right? Very, very good. So what is the last of the 6 things Orlando mentioned in the weekly update? So the last one is days on the market. One more time real quick, because we got to keep going. Number 1, 6 things you need to know. Number of properties for sale, average price per square foot, highest for sale, lowest for sale, days on the market. All right? I'm Brenda, you said. Riley, anything about that?
Well, the only way you can do that is to have a very small defined market, right? So that's why I say don't try to be all things to everybody. Start with your backyard. Start with your block, your street, and once you learn how to absorb that information, it becomes easier to expand on that. But, at a bare minimum, if you don't know those things, if you have to go look them up or tell somebody I'll get back to you when they ask you that question, and everybody wants to know what's going on in their neighborhood. So
exactly,
know off the top of your head, days on the market are going up, they're going down, prices are going up, going down. Just putting a few statistics in there makes them understand that you are actually doing work, paying attention to the market. So it's very
another question. Most of us know the answer. Do you live in Coconut Grove?
I do. Born and raised, will never leave.
I was going to say, not only live in Coconut Grove, but born and raised.
Yes.
All right. Patricia says, Miracle Morning, that's a good book. For those of you that are asking for the calendar, just email me at info@Montiel Organization, and my team will get you the digital version today for free. Email info@Montiel Organization. Please get me the calendar. So right here, Berkeley, right here, Riley, why person buy or sells in coronavirus time? What do you take to that?
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Why would somebody want to buy or sell in the coronavirus time?
Boy, I mean, people want to buy and sell all the time. Let's put it that way, for a variety of needs. We just we just sold a house where the person got laid off their job from the virus and had to move away to live with family. It's unfortunate, but it's happening. I mean, so the things that make people move, they're still there, right? People are still, and more than ever, people are going to be losing their jobs, unfortunately, right? More than ever, people are going to probably we're all living together now 24/7. So I imagine the divorce rate's probably going to go up. So more people are going to need to get out of their house. Right. But, people are still being transferred. People are still being relocated. And people still need places to live. One of the things that we've seen, and we've done, still doing some steady business during this time, is that there are a lot of people out there at the end of their lease. They weren't planning on renewing it. The interest rates are fantastic. I mean, I know they're all over the place right now, but they're still fantastic versus historic numbers. It depends on the market, I think. But we're still seeing people going out and looking. Obviously, looking at the property is more challenging now, right? Mm-hmm. But they're identifying properties. And my last video I did was to talk about how much the online business has sort of grown. We've seen a 25% increase in registration on our site. So people are getting ready for when this is over. So it's not just worrying about the people that are in the car today, because obviously that number is going to be challenging. But I think the biggest message that I try to get across to my team, and that you guys could probably take away from this, is, are you going to be ready when the doors are open, right? When the floodgates open, and they're going to be. And you got to be, Tom Ferry always says, you got to be loading your cannon, right? And that's by getting in front of as many people and nurturing. There's three things that we do as agents. And I think these are important to understand, right? First thing is that we are all prospecting and trying to find new clients. If you're not, then you're not going to be in the business long, however you do it. The second thing is you're now nurturing those potential new clients to get them ready to list or to buy. The third thing is obviously helping them buy, closing deals. Well, we're not doing the third thing right now very often, right? So we double down on the first two set of activities. Find new people, get them in your pipeline, and then nurture them and really show them that you are the person they need to trust with your real estate transaction when this is over.
Right. So something, and Riley, you and I talked about this yesterday, especially with sellers. It's with buyers, completely agree. Buyers, and I've said this, and I'm a little bit radical in terms of this opinion, but I've always said that buyers don't need to buy. I haven't met, and I don't think ever existed, a buyer that needed to buy, because they always have the option to stay where they are or rent in a similar place where they want to be. And sometimes it's cheaper, at least in the short term, right? So they don't really need to buy. However, sellers need to sell because they need to downgrade, they need to move up, they need to have a bigger house, they need to get closer to the office, many different reasons. Yeah. So for people that need to sell right now, I'm asking you, should I put my property on the market? I'm going to give you 4 different reasons. Number one, and this came from Riley, one of your videos, Riley, and you just said it right now, 25% increase. Buyers are searching, right, Riley?
Yeah. Their online activity across the board is up like never before. Obviously, we're all at home. People have more time on their hands to do these searches, so they are definitely looking more. We're seeing way more clicks. We're seeing them stay on the websites longer. We use Boomtown, so we can see that on our Boomtown. So they're already searching. So this is what you have to tell your seller,
and the 3 ways that I overcome that objection from the sellers when we're coaching the agents right now is what we say. Okay, number one, Mr. Seller, can you accomplish the goal of selling your property in this market if you don't have it for sale? If you don't have it for sale, you can't sell it, right? So my question to you, do you think properties are going to go up or down in the short term? Most likely they're going to tell you they're going to go down. All right. So number 3, do you think you're going to have more properties for sale 2-3 months from now or fewer properties? Most likely they're going to tell you more. So if we know that if we don't put it for sale, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to put an offer. Number 2, you are telling me that properties most likely are going to go down. And also you're telling me that there's going to be more competition. Why wouldn't you want to sell it now? Right.
And then now you add in the fact that it's pretty proven that there's way more looking online going on. So they're just looking differently now, right? They're not getting in the car, they're not going to your open house, but they're still looking. And what I like to say is they're filling their bucket of properties they want to see as soon as the time is right. Exactly. And we're in an unusual time right now, and we're just in the beginning of this. But if we're in this for another 2 months, people are still going to need to buy houses. I mean, or going to want to buy houses. I mean, the American dream is not going to stop, and so 100%. You need to be out there. Otherwise, they can't buy your house, right? That's pretty simple.
Exactly. Exactly. So I want to go, before we continue with the questions, I want to we'll make sure that I respect the time. And again, we'll be here answering your questions if you want to for 2 hours on Monday. I'm sorry, right?
As long as you want, I'm here.
All right, perfect. So, and again, I did a webinar on Monday for 45 minutes, and we went over 2 hours and 45, which is already in YouTube. So just want to make sure that I give you the framework for those of you who might have to leave right here. And Riley, try help me with this. Systems, guys, has never been a better time, all right, to work on your systems, to either two things, either set up your systems or improve your systems. So please take your phones out and take a screenshot of this slide. Make sure that you have a working, not only website, but has the right content segmented and automated, all right? Make sure you work on your Facebook campaigns, set them up. Do not pay, in my opinion, you should not be doing lead generation campaigns right now. You should be investing that money on generating traffic, on positioning yourself as the expert of choice. So if you haven't done so, this is the time to do it. Number 3, have you ever thought about doing online advertising? Maybe you have, maybe you're doing it. Most of you, most likely not. This is the time to learn it. Very important, Riley, for me, YouTube. To me, that's the #1 platform.
It will be for everybody, I think. Yes.
Right.
No doubt.
No doubt.
It's always going to be the future. There's no question about it. You know, Miami is one of the last places to learn things, I feel like. But if you go and look and talk to people out in California where everything seems to start, that's all they're doing now. So learning the ins and outs of YouTube right now while you have the time is super critical.
Right.
One of the things I don't see on your screen here, and I noticed the other day, Orlando, for us, our team has been a huge point of emphasis is cleaning up your CRM, diving into your CRM and making sure that everybody's in the right category, right? Are they still, just nurturing, but have they moved to watch? Are they hot? Yeah. Have I touched them enough? That's something we all should be doing every day. Opening your computer, turning on your CRM. If you don't have a CRM, boy, you're way behind.
And that's what I showed this. And then, again, that's what we do with the black box, right? And when we talk about the other day about this, it says every single day you should be going. For those of you, most of you are here in our membership. It's you have this, and you have the website here, you have the content, you have the email marketing automation, and every day you need to go into it. Look who not only open but click on your campaigns every single day. And by the way, that's the first activity my team and I do in the mornings. We have the marketing meeting at 9 a.m. I'll show you in the calendar. And every day we see, okay, how many people click on the email? Those are the people that we're going to reach out to first. And how many people open? And those people we reach out first. And that's why there is no reason to be doing for sale by owners. You can, all right? But those are the people that you should touch the last, because are the least qualified to work with you at this moment. Right.
And then the other thing that I don't think you had on that slide, and I think is really important in this time where we do have more time on our hands, is really, I think we all should take the time to become better at our job, better at our craft, right? Like a lot of your people are doing the right thing by hiring you as a coach. Right. But also, let's start reading more. There's so many webinars. There's so many things to be listening to, learning. I think take this time to get better at your job. I mean, because again, once this is over, we're all going to go back to our busy lives, and it is hard to sit down and read a book in our today's world. Right. But I've committed this year to reading a book a week. Right. And implementing one thing from each book into our business. And our team is pretty much, I'm trying to push them to do that as well. But just educate yourself. Right. This is the time, our community needs us more than ever. Right. To be out there and to have the right facts and give the right information and be the voice of reason for the real estate market. Right. And I think one thing, the more you educate yourself, the more confident you'll become, the better at delivering that message you will be. Right. And I think, our realtor community really needs to come together. We sometimes butt heads a lot in Miami, I think, but I think this is the time for us all to really come together and work with each other, because it's going to be challenging. We are going to face more challenges than ever on closing our deals, keeping them together, getting them put together at this moment, right, with all the emotion that's going to be around here. So I really encourage the community to come together right now to help us help them, help the public.
Right. And very important, guys, as Riley said, it's going to be challenging. Right now, we're at the low end of how challenging it's going to be. I mean, if you think this is slow, remember in real estate, you have a 3-4 month lag. So you're closing whatever you see results right now. It's a result of the efforts you put 3-4 months ago, or maybe more. Right, but there's going to be a gap or 2-3 months in the future. That's why this is the time to prepare. And when we say to our agents, it's not, listen, they have all the lead generation, lead conversion, all the tools here, but it's not about having them and seeing them once. Information is not enough. What actually makes the difference is developing the skills. So we tell them, go through the course over and over and over and over again, because that information will become knowledge. But the more you practice that knowledge, it will become skills. And that's where you make the money. That's where you truly can help your clients. Talking about helping your community, you need to develop those skills.
Yeah, you need to take the information, which is great. You can have all the information in the world. If you have no clients, then it doesn't matter. It's right. Taking the information and implementing it, right? Exactly. It's implementation that is really the most important thing.
Implementation, exactly. So 2 things. Implementation of the right thing. I was listening to a talk, Elon Musk, right? And it is something very interesting. We have the answer to all of the questions. With today's technology, we have the answer. The thing is, we are not asking the right questions. So, right, when I talk to many agents, they're usually not asking the right questions, right? So what are the questions to ask? And that's what we want to, make sure that our agents understand what are the questions they need to ask, and then we give them the answer. Make sure that they are focused on the right things.
I think one of the things your audience needs to know is that, they're probably saying to themselves, boy, I feel like it's uncomfortable or insensitive to be calling people right now. We're not, and we're calling all day. I have a call center and our agents are calling, but we're not calling them and saying, hey, Mr. Customer, do you want to buy or sell a house, right? That's not how it works right now, right? We're calling and just checking in. How are you? How are you doing? How are you guys handling the situation? Is there anything that we can help you with? One, and then lead into the real estate. And what we're finding is that people are talking and engaging to us more than ever because they have time. They have, and so they're not hanging up and saying, "Oh, you insensitive jerk! Why are you calling me and asking me about real estate?" Right? But you don't lead with it; you ease into it. And what I've talked to the people in my call team is they're having conversations that are lasting much longer. They're digging in, and eventually you ask the question, when the time is right, or what time will be right for you, do you think? And you start to dig in questions for when they will be ready for real estate. And everybody, if you get them on the phone, they're going to talk to you about real estate eventually.
Exactly.
So it is not the time to be afraid to call. You're not going to upset people. We're not offending people. We're not finding that in any way whatsoever. Obviously, you're very cautious of your delivery and your message. Right. But we are having many, many, many more quality conversations and actually getting appointments that are being done virtually right now, but getting more appointments set than we have at any time since we've been doing this.
Right. And by the way, we got a search on people doing the programs online because they have all the time in the world. And then once you talk to those people, it can be this program or any other one. I know you use a different program, which is Boomtown, but you put them in your system. You got to put them in the system and then do the automatic follow-up. And you see if they're engaging or not. And those are the people that you reach out to. Very, very important. All right.
Don't be afraid. That people are happy right now. We're seeing it like never before.
Right. So if you could recommend one thing to grow your business, and Rafael Palet, one of our longtime members, Rafael asked, if you could recommend one thing to grow your business, Riley, during this time, what would it be?
This business is a numbers game, right? And I always tell, so I have 2 statements that I always talk about. One is I always believe in, you work to learn before you work to earn, right? So you work on your craft, and I believe in that daily. But the biggest thing that we can do, I think, to grow our business is to get more people who know who we are. Let's just start with that. If you grow your database 5-10 people every day, imagine that. I mean, you're going to be putting in 1,500 to 2,000 people a year into your database. I mean, my business took off when we really decided that was going to be our focus. How do I just give me an email. Let me start there. Right. And we're now over 100,000 something. I don't even know what the number is, but north of 100,000 people. So the whole world fits in 2 hands, the people that know you and the people that don't. Spend your energy getting those people who don't know you to know you, and then spend your energy getting those people that now know you to trust you. Mm-hmm. It's a numbers game. I've talked about it so many times.
It's all about frequency and consistency. And the more frequent you are, the more consistency you have, the more you're going to go from the general doctor to the specialist to the celebrity. And that's what you want to become. Like Riley said, to your little neighborhood first, and then you expand. All right.
And every person that you put in your database or that you build a relationship with, those people know people who are going to buy and sell, right? So they can become your secret agents if you cultivate them properly.
Right. So very important. Another question here from Lucero. Do you recommend doing your YouTube videos, your videos on YouTube, on Facebook videos, live Instagram? What do you recommend? I'll do my take, but first I'll let you answer first.
Yes, yes, and yes. Everywhere. And we put them everywhere, and everybody that we've talked to, and I think you were at our summit when we had David Kurz there talking about, you don't know when people are looking, you don't know what device they're going to look on, you don't know what channel they're going to look on, so put them everywhere.
And here's the beautiful thing about it, Lucero, is that you only make one video, one take of that video. You upload it to YouTube, and then you can upload it not only to Facebook and Instagram, but to the stories and to on Facebook and Instagram. So you have YouTube, you have Facebook and Instagram, and then you have stories on Instagram and Facebook, everywhere. But you only have to do one video. The best one for me, it's YouTube. Lowest cost per view. And the beautiful thing is you're planting a seed in stories. Remember, that disappears. But when you put them on YouTube, every time they click, they're going to see a related video of yours. And that's going to be there for years. And it's going to only grow and grow and grow.
And don't forget to put your video and email it to your database, right? Yep. That's how you get the people to go to YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. So we're emailing a YouTube link to the database whenever we make the video. And then when they open it, that takes them to YouTube. Then they can watch that one and they see how many more you have, and it goes from there. So again, you and I always talk about it, email marketing. Don't forget about email marketing.
Yep.
Email is the best.
Email is the best. Thank you, Riley. So we talk about those four things, right? There are 4 buckets into marketing. Remember the difference between marketing and selling, guys. Marketing is everything we do out there to generate the lead. Selling is what we do once we have that lead that we generated through marketing, face to face or on the phone. 2 completely different set of skills. You need to learn how to generate the lead, number 1, right? But once you have that lead, you need to know how to convert that lead, number 2. Got it? So there are 4 quadrants to marketing. Number 1, as Riley said, number 1, by far, email marketing. By far. By the way, it's the cheapest one, right? Also, it's the cheapest one. Number 2, social media. Number 3, online marketing. And then number 4, it's offline marketing. All of them work if you know how to use them. All of them work, all right? Very important. Javier asked the question, what is the best place to learn the basics of social media and CRM? Javier, I'm going to plug our system because we made it for real estate agents, all right? You learn here how to do social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. And this is also the CRM that allows you to, everything is automated for you. We will include a website for you. There are many ones. There are many. And Edward said, Orlando, we are in Boomtown. And it's a great platform too. The beautiful thing about this one is that it's not only the system, but also the training. And there are many good coaches. You mentioned a couple of coaches too, Riley. There are many good coaches and many good companies. The beautiful thing about this one is that it's everything together. All right. But again, if it is not ours, that's okay. But you need to have the structure and you need to have the system that allows you not to be doing a little bit of everything, but the right things. That's it. All right. So Javier, that's obviously the one that we recommend. Caroline says, great source for free real estate webinars. YouTube, Montiel Organization, guys. Subscribe to this when you want to see a lot of videos. By the way, right here, I'm going to click in here. Riley has been there 3 times already. All right. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look at this one. This week, by the way, let me show you right here at the screen. Completely free. You don't have to pay for it. I'm going to go to videos right here. This came this week. And you know Dina, Riley.
Yep.
We posted it last week, over 2,500 views. She went from $1,200 rentals to being one of the top agents in Miami with over $225 million in listings. She's a foreigner, all right? Like some people said, you have an accent, I'm not from here. She's a foreigner, she's from Russia. She went from $1,200 rentals to over $225 million in listings. So free real estate webinars right here. Make sure you subscribe. It's completely free. By the way, I'm going to show you Riley. It's coming up next on that. Was I sharing that interview? I don't know if I was sharing that. Riley, were you looking at this? Were you able to see this?
It just came on now.
Okay, so as you can see, this came out only a week ago. Over 2,500 people have already seen it. So make sure you read that. You want to learn how to go from $1,200 to over $225 million listings. And next week, it's Riley, right? We already recorded that, Riley. Remember, you were in our offices about a month ago.
Yep.
What else? Which books do you recommend? Rafael Palet, longtime member of our organization, too. Rafael asked that question. Riley, any book? I know you gave me one when I spoke at your summit.
I mean, we have there's a lot of them. I mean, I think if you're going to read one, you should read The $1 Million Agent. You know, Gary Keller's book.
Yeah, very good one. Very good one.
Book that gives you a formula from going to being a single agent to building a business. Right. That's what I really wish and hope for all of my team, is that we all go from being an agent to actually building a business. And that book walks you through it step by step. I mean, it was written in 2001 and is still totally relevant today. That's one of them. My other favorite one is The Go Giver, which is just sort of how we run our organization. I believe the more you give out into the world, the more you receive. That book is all about that. Elevate is the one that I gave you at the summit. I gave everybody there. A lot of just really little smart things that you can think about and look into. I mean, there's just so many. And you know, we try to read not just real estate related, but all business and motivational, encouragement, and spiritual, all those things.
By the way, something that comes into this one, I'm gonna make another advertisement to the company, because you're just asking for it right here. When you get the black box, this is what you get. Look who's here in this picture right here. Right. So if you want to read a book about real estate, the Ultimate Real Estate Agent book, these are the interviews to the top agents, and look at here, Riley Smith. So that's you can find it on Amazon.
That was a long time ago. Look at that picture.
Oh, look at me with black hair.
Graduation picture.
Right. But again, this is all about content, guys. This was 6 years ago. All right. So look at your picture, but look at my picture. Anyways, look who's here, Alba. Thank you, Alba, for being here. I know you for a long time. I know you. You know Alba beyond the.
Yes, for sure.
Riley, where can I find webinars that teaches how to talk to prospective sellers? That's what we teach, guys, right here. So I'll make a comment on that. Steve, go ahead.
I think for those things, what I've seen with my people for sellers and buyer conversations, you really need one-on-one coaching. I don't think you're going to get it from a webinar.
Thank you.
We have Raul Alba, Raul, who runs my. I mean, his coaching, that's the only way you're going to get it. Watching somebody else do it, you need someone to coach you, someone to practice with, show you the drills. So whether, it's obviously Orlando is the guy here in Miami, but you probably need to get some coaching if you want to really learn that properly.
Listen, and so if it's coming from me, then it looks biased, right? You're saying it, but again, it doesn't have to be us, but you need the guidance. It's like, where can I learn to be an architect? You got to go to school. You can go to Harvard, you can go to Miami-Dade, you can go to University of Miami, University of Alabama, but you need the structure. Right?
Yeah, I think we fool ourselves and we think we can learn everything online, right? I mean, yes, you could get a lot of ideas, you can hear other things, but the implementation and the little nuances, I think those really come from practice and from coaching.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, because it's a reality. We all go through that process. Steve says, "Thank you, Riley and Orlando, for this amazing webinar." Orlando, sorry to ask you, but due to the circumstances, do you have any special for your program? It will definitely help our community of realtors. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm ready to get started, but a financial break will be needed. You know what? We will. I'll make sure, Steve, you know what, definitely. Steve, write to me at Orlando at Montiel organization.com. I'll make sure that the financial burden is not going to be there for you. This is a time to help each other, guys. All right. And if you truly want that direction, that training, you want the system, the content, all of the things, I'm here to help you. And I guarantee you, we'll come to a financial agreement that works for you. Guaranteed. So if you're truly serious, email me, Orlando Montiel Organization, and I'll be more than glad, Steve, to talk to you on the phone. All right, good. And for everybody else here too, you'll talk to me. All right. So for the calendar, guys, very simple. For the calendar, email us at info@montielorganization.com. Okay, email us the calendar, and I'll be more than glad to follow it. Signet Perez follow boss is great too. Okay, yeah, there are different systems. Again, there are so many different systems, and again, also so many different coaches. Just get the structure. Danny, okay, okay. So do you do little neighborhoods? But what do you send to people, Riley?
I'm sorry. How do I send what?
What do you send? What content do you send? I think we went over that.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly send relevant real estate information, right? I'm not sending out cookie recipes and weather reports, they used to do in the old days. I think I've built my entire career off being the go-to person for Coconut Grove on getting information. And so, even though it seems silly, people want to know what the house next door sold for. People want to know the price per square foot in their neighborhood or how long it's going to take to sell. So if you just have those 6 things that Orlando talked about, you can do a mail out on each one of them, or you can do it all together. Certainly a newsletter, you had Alba on there. They have great newsletters. Newsletters are super helpful and people keep them around. But and you can go back to just starting with just sold and just listed and just pending. As long as you're doing it consistently, the message will get there.
Consistency, exactly.
It's way better to be more consistent with a smaller group than to be less consistent with a larger audience.
Yeah. Anna asked the question, Riley, and I'm going to answer that too, but I would like you to answer it first. How do you keep from becoming annoying to your contacts with your emails to them? By the way, how many emails do you send, Riley?
Favorite question.
It's mine too. I
don't care if we're annoying to the question. Right. The honest truth is that you and I talk about this all the time. Everybody, that is the biggest hang up my team. When people join my team and we're saying, okay, we have all these things, you can e-blast your database 3 times a day with all of our information, all these things, and everybody puts their hands up, oh, no, I can't do that, right? I'm going to annoy them. First of all, if they know you and they like you, they're going to be happy to see your email come in. Even if they don't open it, they see you coming in. And the more that comes in, the more they're going to think, okay, this person is really doing stuff, putting content out there. They're working hard. So you gain respect by that. I think it's the biggest misnomer that's in our industry is that you're bothering people. If they want to open it, they open it. If they don't open it, they still have to see your name to delete it. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, all the time. Yep. And get very few unsubscribes. And those people who unsubscribe weren't going to work with you anyway.
Exactly.
Your people, your sphere, the people that know you or that are you're cultivating, they are going to be happy to see you sending out stuff, happy for your success, and want to help you. And so you should be blasting once, twice, 3 times a day without even thinking about it. As long as you have something to say.
Beautiful. And as Riley said, this is one of our favorite topics. Riley and I talk about this all the time, email marketing. And a phrase that came from him, remember, and some people say, Riley, well, people don't open their emails. And I completely agree that people, when they go into their inbox, they're in delete mode, delete. But as you said, in order to delete it, first, you have to see it. And the people that are not going to do business with you, they're going to delete it anyways. By the way, being annoying is when you're not giving relevant value. Because, Riley, do you have babies in your family? I know the answer. Do you have babies? Yes or no? Your wife and I, how old is your youngest?
7 and 13.
So, do they use Pampers? Of
No.
course not. So even if I send you only one, listen, the top 10 Pampers in the world for you and Kelly, it's not relevant. That's annoying. Got it? Even if it doesn't have enough frequency. It's not about how often, it's about the value of the content.
Yeah. And it's everybody has a roof over their head. So whether they're renting or they may be a buyer or they may be a seller, people are interested in real estate. Even in real estate that doesn't pertain to them. It's just a topic. If you guys haven't noticed, when you're out and about, you're in a party, maybe other than a doctor, everybody is going to ask you, how's the market, right? Everybody wants to know. So people generally, I think, look at probably real estate related stuff a little more than they do a lot of other things that they're being spammed with, because everybody at some point is going to move.
Exactly. So there's another question. How do you get those emails? I'll tell you. How do you get the emails? I'll tell you how I ask my agents to get the emails.
Go ahead.
What is it?
You go.
Google?
No, you go. I want to hear what you have to say.
Perfect. So very simple. All right. So I'm gonna give you I give you 2 or 3 different companies if you're interested in getting the emails. And by the way, there are tons of companies. I'll recommend 2 or 3 that I recommend for our agents that we coach, and it's not expensive at all. By the way, the success rate of those emails is about 30 to 35%, but it's very inexpensive. That's the way you initially get those emails from those companies. Also, you need to be doing social media lead generation campaigns where you capture their email. That's why content is so important. The 5 things you need to know before selling your home, the 3 mistakes owners in downtown Miami make when selling their home. If you're working with expires, what to do if you have not sold your home in the last 90 days. Download it now. By them downloading that, they get the email. So number 1, it's buy the emails. You're going to have about 30 to 35% success rate. But if you get 2,000 emails, 600 is much better than having nothing. And second, lead generation campaign. So if you want the 2 or 3 companies, I'll refer you to the companies and you deal directly with them. What about you, Riley?
I mean, we're big on just expanding your sphere as well, right? Just asking your people every time you go to a party or to a function, make sure you leave there with 5 new names. And if you don't have their emails, call the host or the owner and ask them to give them to you. I mean, there's many ways going to different businesses in your area, your community. But it's just, you have to work at it, right? To do it organically. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Organization.com right here. I send it. So if you want that, I'll put the link here. Send me an email at info@Montiel We'll refer you to the companies and you speak directly to them. All right. Danielle says, what platform do you recommend clients to put reviews? They don't like writing on multiple platforms. What do you say to that?
I think personally the best thing you can do would be to
to
get the review for you, and then you decide where you want to put it. That's personally the best way. I think you can use it and manipulate it differently. So if they will just write one and give it to you, then you put them wherever you're comfortable, or even if you're using them in your marketing and whatever else. So I don't recommend one platform over another.
Very good. And that's very important. By the way, that's what I did with you many years ago, right? I asked you for the review, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see, he just gave it to me. And sometimes I even write it for them and said, do you approve it? And I think that's what I did with you, right? I said, yeah, I approve it. Go ahead and put it anywhere you want. So ask your client, can I write it for you? Or can you write it for me and send me an email? And then you put it whatever you want. All right. Very good point. How do you get those emails? Janine, I just put the email. Send me an email, info@Montiel Organization, and I'll tell you the companies that can help you with that. Antonio, a long-term agent with us also. Antonio asked, how do you subscribe to Riley's newsletter to receive the emails?
Just send us an email and you'll get on our database. So RileySmithGroup.com.
Okay. Claudia says, Riley, how do you handle your active listings at this moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging. I think you just keep your people informed. And I mean, I think we're so new into this that I think everybody is really hunkered down. And I don't think, now is the time to really be badgering them or bothering them. I think the properties are there. If people want to see them, we call, ask if we can show it. If we don't, we don't. But I haven't had anybody tell me they wanted to take it off. But they also understand that right now, we're just figuring out how to navigate this new world. So I wouldn't do much right now. I would, make sure you talk to them every once in a while, put out information, but they're not going to expect much from you, as any of us are at the moment. So, I would not be calling them and telling them to panic or tell them to lower their price or tell them to take the property off the market. I think status quo for now until we see how this really plays out.
Just make sure you keep those listings active, because you don't accomplish anything by canceling or putting them off the market. All right. Then he says, you two are so damn good. Thank you for the sharing so much valuable information. Would love to do a deal with you, Riley. All right.
Thank you.
Let's get it done. Georgina, long-time member, says, please repeat the name of the book by Gary Keller. It's a millionaire real estate agent.
Let me see if I have it.
Yeah, it's a very, very, it's a old book, but it's a Bible for the real estate industry. Very, very good one. I highly, highly recommend it. Georgina says, Orlando is the best coach ever. Thank you very much, Georgina. Georgina, we've worked for many, many, many times. Do you have it, Riley?
I don't have. Someone of my agents is reading it, so I don't have it.
Anyways, it's just The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. It's very simple to find. Very, very simple.
There's another one called The One Thing that I also think is a really good read as well.
It is a good one. He just published that one recently, about 3 years ago. It is very, very good too. But that one would be a must read. Nancy says, great seminar. Thank you, Riley and Orlando. Liz, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Liz just put it in there. Georgina, very good. Thank you, Liz. Carolina, amazing webinar. Thank you, guys. Ariela Gonzalez, great. Meg, thank you, Riley and Orlando. Ariela Gonzalez, Can someone call me today? 786. Guys, if you want to talk to me, just email me and I will make sure that I call you, Ariela. So if you want to talk about anything about your business, email me, Orlando at Montiel Organization with your phone number. I'll make sure that I call you today, okay? John, Orlando, can you please show us the 5-fund spreadsheet again? Yeah, I'll show you that right now. The 5-fund, let me make sure that super helpful. Mary says, thank you, Riley and Orlando. Excellent point. Anna says, very beneficial information. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Danielle, Carolina. Thank you, Orlando and Riley. A lot of good stuff. Let's see. Thank you, guys. Thank you. A lot of thank yous right here. Marla Rivas said, Riley sold my house. He's the best. All right.
Can't do better than that, right? That's...
All right. Christina, can you write the names of the book? I think those are the two, that one. And if you want to read this one too, but you can also see the interviews in the Miami Real Estate Show for free in YouTube. You both did a great job. I think those are all the questions. Let me go back to the screen. They requested to see the 5 things right here. So that's systems right here, right? What systems are you working on right now? That's a question you need to ask yourself. As I said, and Riley said, there's never been a better time to set up or improve your systems. Website, Facebook, Google, YouTube, landing pages, and for many of you guys, becoming a listing agent. All right. This is the right time to do that. Content, very simple right here. You can see that local statistics, we talk about that, new articles, videos, presentations, social media. And I put me because now what I'm saying, Riley, it's videos. I'm doing way more videos. Presentation, I improved the presentation. You've never seen a presentation like this in terms of the design. We work on the presentation. And Riley, I was thinking about doing the presentation for the past 2 years.
Wow.
We got it done.
Good.
All right. WhatsApp, for those of you who work with international clients, guys, you need to set up your WhatsApp broadcast. It is imperative that you do that. It is extremely important for your business to set up your WhatsApp broadcast. Up to 256 people per group. You have 2,000 people. You have 10 groups. All right. And you can send them all the relevant information, content, PDF, your videos, everything to those people. And you can monitor whether they open it or not. Make sure this month, the Miami Real Estate Show, we had Alicia. We had Gal, who is my social media coach. We had Dina Golden Tire. Coming up next, who we have? Riley Smith. All right, for places to go. Very simple, guys. Let me step right here. We talk about the objections. All right. Special times, guys, requires special attention. If you're serious about learning, setting up your systems, here's my email, guys. Email me. We'll make it happen for you. We will make it happen. Don't worry about the financial aspect. This is a time for us to help you. We're going to move you forward. All right. So if you want help in the systems, set up, how to work with clients, set up your listing presentation, how to become a top listing agent, I'm here to help you guys. Just email me at orlando@montielorganization.com. I'll get on the phone with you.
I want to just put out there that, my team is always growing. We're going to bring 5 new people in probably in the next couple of weeks, but we're looking to get to probably 50 people on the team. So if anybody is out there and wants to be on a team, please reach out to us, and we offer a whole lot of things. I think, like you, one of the things that our team takes advantage of the most is, 1, I think we built an amazing culture here. 2, we really are starting to help teach people how to hold themselves accountable, which we all need. You and me, we all have our people that we do that with.
Yep.
And then all of the various tools. I think in a time like this, especially, real estate is a lonely business. And I think more and more, that's why you're seeing teams get bigger and bigger. And I think, our team, we definitely do things a little differently. So if you've ever thought about it, please, I know I'm putting in a little shameless plug, but that's
no. Riley, can you put the email where they can reach out to you too?
Yeah, please email me at riley@rileysmithgroup.com.
Perfect.
If you ever run across or talk to anybody on our team, I think you really will get a good sense of what we're all about. And our slogan and our main theme is we want to help everyone make the move of a lifetime, and that's our clients and the people that work with us and our agents. Really, we're all about helping everybody grow and giving all the things that we've learned. So we would love to talk to you if you ever thought about joining a team.
Yep, definitely. And guys, I don't need to recommend Riley. If I have him here, it's for a reason. I've worked with Riley for many, many, many years, and it's not only about the numbers he puts out there every single year, but again, the culture he has, the family culture he has, and you had me speak at your summit, and I cried in your summit.
Yeah. Rebecca made everybody cry.
Yeah, you got to put that video up there. All right. So that's a testimonial of the culture that you have in your group. Rossi, you both did a great job. Thank you, Anna. Anna is in our group, and Anna is asking, will this be on Octopus? Yes, Anna. This webinar, for those of you who have our system, our training, is going to be there by tomorrow. Amazing webinar. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Claudia, for your support. Jacob, really appreciate it. The webinar. Thank you, Riley and Orlando. How many closings do I need before I get a golf cart? I love that one. Riley doesn't drive around the Coconut Grove. He never goes in a golf cart.
Yep, I don't use a car very often. So,
all right. A lot of thank yous from Carolina, Steve, Sonia. Sonia, nice to see you here. Marvel, thank you, Orlando and Riley, Christina, Marilyn. Let's see, Anna Karina. Hi, Orlando. It's my first time on one of your webinars. I have listened to your videos while driving to work. Very good. Put them on YouTube. We have a podcast too, right, where we interview Riley at least 3 times every day for over 2 months. Very helpful. Thank you, Ana Karina. Once the situation is gone, I would like to sign up for one of your in-person coaching sessions. I'm an agent, new agent, working part-time, committed to real estate. Guy, Ana Karina, don't wait until you become a full-timer or everything starts, right, Riley? Get started right now.
Start now. Now is more important than ever, to be honest with you.
This is the right time, right? We have to
learn all your skills and learn all the things you're teaching and absorb it. You know, once you start getting a little busier with back to life, those things become harder. So now is the time to work on yourself and to try to learn as much as you can about this craft.
Exactly. And I know our program, and it's over $2,000. We had a special of $899, but today, I guarantee you guys, get in touch with me. We'll figure it out. Ana Karina, don't wait. Just let's get started right now. There's no better time to develop your marketing and your sales skills, lead generation and lead conversion, and set up the systems. We'll give you the systems. Money's going to be an issue. That's my promise to you. Money won't be an issue, guys. All right.
Now's the time to work to learn before you work to earn.
Say it again, because I love that. You gave me that.
Yeah. Again. The time, you work to learn before you work to earn. Yep. If you take the time to learn, your curve will be so much faster than everyone else's. Yep. Don't fall in the trap that most agents do. They get this business, they get one client, they spend the rest of their life chasing one client. Right? Take the time and invest in yourself. And there's never been a better time right now. We hit the pause button. We have so much time, but the ability to get better has never been easier.
Exactly. The ability, 2 things. Now we hit the pause button. And the ability to get better has never been easier, and Riley, and cheaper.
Yeah.
And cheaper. All right. Helmut, thank you very much for the comment. Mariana, thank you not only for the information, but for the motivational and inspirational tone of your webinar. Thank you, Mayra. Michelle, here's Michelle put your information. So right here, and the phone number too. We have the best culture. Yes, you guys have. Damian, thank you guys. Margot, thank you. Margot, there is their email. So Riley, can you tell me the email again? It's already there. And guys, it's it for it. And we said 45 minutes. Well, we had an hour and a half. Riley, again, man, it's always a pleasure to have you in our program with the agents when you come to coaching, and the Miami Real Estate Show. When you go to one of our coaching sessions, it's always a pleasure.
I appreciate the invitation. It's always humble to see how many people actually tuned in and want to hear what I have to say. And I'm all about giving, and that's my thing. The more I can help, the more I can give. I know that'll take me where I want to go in life. So I really appreciate you having me on. A big shout out to my whole RSG team that was on there. Glad to see you guys paying attention, and looking forward to the next time, Orlando.
Thank you very much, Riley. For all of you, thank you very much for being here today. I know you have a lot of options to be distracted in your house. A lot of other webinars that are very good as well, and you took the time to be with us today. If you want the calendar, completely free. If you want the email list, completely free. Email me at info@Montiel Organization. If you want to find out about how we can help you, email me at Orlando@Montiel Organization. We'll help you get started. Tell me what you need. We'll help you here in the team. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, everybody, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, bye.
Bye.